Hey everybody, it's what is today? It's Wednesday, the 29th of August, 2018, and nice late summer evening here in San Diego. It's about 84 degrees right now, but a nice breeze, so I'm getting out more and more in the evening and doing some work. And as I mentioned, I'm at basically cleaning things up and getting ready for the fall crops. Except for like this tomato's staying here. He's just gone. I just supplemented the tank to hopefully start producing some blooms here and some fruit. But with today's video we're going to do is I thought I'd do run through the system again, but this time tell you what I have and everything. Kind of tell you my mistakes, things I think I would have done differently, and things I still may change and improvements. So if you're getting ready to start a system, you've seen some of my other videos and what I did do, let me go back and show you some of the things I probably would do differently if I could, or I may still do to improve. I may change things. So let me take this off. Extreme close-up off the stand and show you the garden. Let's get some focus. I guess you can see all these bees here. That would be my first, I don't know what to call it. It's not really a mistake. It's just happened. But it happened because mainly, as you can see, like right here, you can see a bunch of them. Maybe you can't see them in the shadows. But there's 3, 5, 6 bees there. It's because that's a little depression, and so the water rises. It shows water there. So the thing I'd do over is maybe lower my bell siphon riser a little bit, and then make sure I'm well topped off with the clay balls to restrict their access to the water. I like bees. I need them to pollinate my plants. So I get peppers like this guy. He's gonna be ready to pick here soon. But I don't want that many bees. When I come out here to harvest or prune back, I don't want to be afraid I'm going to be attacked by a little swarm here and stung. So I guess that's one thing I need to improve on. Strawberries, I just need to prune more often. These guys are supposed to be everbearing, so I need to get in here and prune them back. You see, I'm still getting berries on these here. And these aren't supposed to be everbearing here in this middle. But key thing there is to prune often and get rid of the dead leaves and keep things back and keep the runners off so they'll produce more berries. Over here with my Dutch buckets, the big mistake, I don't know if it's a mistake, it's just, it happens, is, and I can probably show you with one of these, you can see the roots there coming out. With these, especially tomatoes and bell peppers, what I've been having in here, the roots get down a big, I can't even get these out, but you get big root balls in there, and they tend to either block it or just grow inside of it. And one of my previous videos, you probably saw the big line of roots I pulled out. So they just get in there and they grow in the pipe, and that can cause backups. So this overflows and I have a leak right here. Oh, there's another one right there. This thing tends to drift outward. I don't know exactly why, but in hindsight, I probably should have glued that. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is getting back here and putting in a screw, because it takes about a week or two, but this just slowly, with the pressure, moves out. And what I can also do is from the inside push the pipe out a little bit so it's not strained here. So we'll get back to the tanks in a minute here. So what I've been doing, or what I've done once, and I don't know how it's working yet, is I put a paint strainer bag. Now I know out there in the aquaponic video world that that is it's an opinion. There's a lot of people like Matt over at Home Garden Ideas, I think is his channel. He does not believe in them, and he did a video just last week, I think, showing his reason and his proof, where he pulled one out and the roots grew right through the bag. And then you have Todd Larson on the other side. He swears by them. he has not had a problem with them at all yet. So take that with you what you may. I'm going to try some bags myself, and I also have another idea I'm going to try on these. I just haven't worked out the logistics yet, and I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to give it away, but we'll come back to that another day. Over here on the fill-in drain side, we went over the making sure clay balls are all topped off. I might have to lower the water. You wanted a good inch below the top of the clay balls. And I got bees looking at me again. Another mistake I made that I rectified on the second half is I think this pipe might be too small. I think this is 1.5 inches, and I have 6 beds on it. Fill and drain, it's not that bad, but I had half fill and drain, and half I had constant flow DWCs. And when you have 6 beds doing that, and if I decided I want to do all 6 DWCs, I don't think that pipe's big enough. So when I did the other side, I went ahead and went to a full 2-inch drain. At least I think that's 2-inch. And I have not had a problem on this side. I have had a problem with that occasionally. When the 3 fill and drain beds got in sync, were draining at the same time, I did have a few overflows over there. So make sure you plan your drain size adequately. Go overboard on your drain size. And over here I did the 1.5 inches, and over here it's not that big of a deal because the most I have is the little trickles here. Turn this on. Look, here's one, it's on right here. See, I have a stream like that going in there and draining out. So the 1.5 inches was okay for these buckets. I didn't have any overflows. The only time I had overflows was when the roots got involved. And the second thing is, I don't like these valves as much as I thought I would. You know, you can sit here and control the flow if you want a full flow, or maybe you just want a trickle coming out for some reason. It worked well with that, but I found these little valves clogged a lot, so I had to check them every so often. And I just use a paper clip, ram it in there to unclog them. But yeah, not sure how I like them. These things I've had to clean one of these so far this year. I think it's one of the ones down there. And all I did is I shut the water off, uncapped it, sprayed it through, cleaned. These clamps here were part of an earlier mistake. I used to just have these sitting in the buckets, and then I found out a few flopped out, and then I would have water going everywhere, drain my sump tank. So I used these clamps first, and then I discovered these green things that I got at my hydro store, and they're made to go with these cube systems, but they work great. They clip right on the side of the bucket, and they're angled to get the tube right in there. If I can find them on Amazon, I'll put a link in the comments below for you. And that way I can pull this off real easy and move the bucket. When it's screwed in like this, it's harder to move the bucket. And that's what's great about the Dutch bucket, is you can move things around easily if you don't screw your hose in. So that's pretty much it for my mistakes and thoughts over here. Let's go to the head end of the system here, the fishy tanks. And I'd say my biggest one here was, hey guys, they want food. Is you can see where my drain comes out to the top there. When I first got these, I thought I want as much water, as many gallons as I could, so I put that up towards the top, and that was a mistake. I can't think of why it was a mistake right now, but trust me, it was a mistake. I should have come down about 5 more inches on there. You don't want it up all the way to the top. You don't want your water all the way at the top like this. For one, if you saw my video, my fish jumping out, that's one reason. 2, it's easier to overflow, and I can't really put an overflow pipe in here of decent size. You know, because it's just too close to the top, and I wanted to do an overflow valve in case my drain got clogged. I wouldn't have water flowing over the top. So that is there. Another mistake I think I made is, I don't know if you can see them in here. This back here is, I got catfish in here. And it's not as light over here, but I have one catfish in here. And if you saw one of my last videos, I was losing fish. A couple of fish were dying. They looked torn up. And my thought was maybe the catfish were too aggressive. So in hindsight, I shouldn't have kept the catfish out. If I lose one more fish, they're going into some tank. You know, per a suggestion from Todd, I put a plant down in there, and then I put a pot in there, and there's an elbow to a pipe over there. Give them a place to hide if they want to. Hopefully that will keep their aggression down a little bit. Haven't lost any in about a week now, so I'm crossing my fingers. So another, I don't know if it's a mistake or, let's go around this side, but after watching Rob's videos from Australia, and I watched his videos before I did this, and he had 2-inch pipes. This is actually 1.5 inches, I think, drain pipes. And he switched his out to 3-inch, and I saw that video, and I thought, no, I don't need to do that. So, because I took the 1.5 inches here, and I went down to 3-inch here, I think it is. And I think he actually switched his to 4-inch. And as I said with these drain pipes, bigger is better. In my hindsight, I wish I would have went to at least 3-inch coming out of here and here and going down to 4-inch there. I may someday in the future enlarge these. I don't know. Right now, I'm not worrying about it. But I think if I went to 4-inch, I would have a much better, make sure it's not too gunky, a much better flow out of here. I'm not getting that great of a flow. So, pipe sizing. And then same thing here, 3-inch or 4-inch here. You get better water flow through all this and back out. So, and then I've said in the last video I'm adding a mineralization tank here. I probably should have done that in hindsight at the beginning, but it's easy to add in. And yeah, sump tank I think I did pretty well on. Everything works. I would like to still find a better float valve. When this float valve activates, you can see it there. The water just trickles out. I want something that really flows to fill it up faster. But yeah, the sump tank works pretty good. I don't think there's anything I really could have improved on that. But, you know, I'm open to suggestions and everything. This filter never really worked. So there's no filter in there because the pressure, this is just gravity fed from my top off rain tanks. And it's not enough pressure to push through the filter very well. So I don't know, maybe in the future I might work up an electric pump and have the pump wired to a float switch. So when the water goes low, the float switch activates the pump and just pumps water in there, and that would go through the filter better. That's a thought I've had, and I'm working on logistics of that. So, and then over here, no mistakes, no really hindsights on this. Improvements that I would like to do still is I'd like to find a better way to catch the water than that. In fact, I need to adjust it. It's kind of moved out of the way. And yeah, see, it's kind of come down a little bit. I don't know if it's my clamp here. Probably my clamp. So I need to tighten the clamp up and getting it more underneath there. I don't know if I can find a better 2-inch to 4-inch maybe funnel type thing I can put on there. I do that. I may still go ahead and put a first flush system on this. I still don't know if it's worth it. I'm filling up now. Another improvement I'm going to be doing is I already cut the pipe here, and this pipe here goes up to there, which is going to be for watering my trees and then the back fence plants. But I intercepted it here, and I'm going to put a T up and over so I don't have to drag the hose around all the time. And then what I'm probably going to do is I think I've seen those timers where it just goes on the end of the hose bib or something, and you can set it for 30 minutes. So I can set it to flow for 30 minutes and hopefully not overflow the system, because many times I put the hose in and I forget about it, or my timer doesn't go off or whatever, and I come out here and this is all flooded. So I mean, everything here is because I am lazy and I'm trying to make things as easy as possible. So if I have a pipe over there, I don't have to drag the hose. You know, maybe an ideal thing is to get one of those water sensor meters that I have for the nodes, and just put that at the top of the tank, and then I can turn the switch on to turn the water on, and then when it hits that sensor, it turns the water off. So looks like my battery's about to die here, so I'm going to wrap this up. So that's a quick view of mistakes, afterthoughts, hindsights, and future improvements I'm thinking of. I'm always open to suggestions, so if you guys have any thoughts or questions or comments, please leave them. You guys have been helpful in the past, so I'm always looking forward to comments and suggestions. So real quick, we'll end on my corn. And then it might have been blurry there in the end. It was blurry for me in low power mode. So I gotta end this. So we'll end on my corn on the cob. Talk to you guys later. Have a great week.